baby woho. Ahim baby woho. Eye papa kuro. Boni biara, boni biara. Aje kamere ba. Ya me ba me srewo. Till me hoje me, oro me bone ko. Efi henere ko. Familia wodoba. Fa utumi, yimi fi bone mu. Kosi seda chibi. Meshe atade a. Fini kikeni, woho atokrumu. Efi ederiko. Familia wodoba. Fa utumi, yimi fi bone mu. Kosi seda chibi. Meshe atade a. Fini kikeni, woho atokrumu.
That was a quick one, a short but powerful ministration. A round of applause once again for our very own children's ministry. Thank you. All right. So we would welcome, before we move on to the next program, we would like to introduce our very own papas in the house. We have Reverend Gideon Mensah Mama. Reverend Ebenezer Amwadade. And Papa Robert Jamina. All right, so at this juncture, I would like to welcome Mama Shalom to give us the welcome address and introduction of our speaker for tonight. Give it up for Mama Shalom as she elegantly walks to the podium.
On behalf of the Education Committee and then on behalf of Session and the clergy, I welcome all of you to this evening's program. This evening is going to be very spectacular, especially to us as parents and then to you as children and then students. All of you are welcomed. Then what I'm here to do this evening is to introduce the speaker for this evening's occasion. This evening we are going to talk about a very important topic which our MC has already told us about. To do that for us this evening, we have a very beautiful woman, very seasoned in Presbyterianism. She's a total embodiment of Presbyterianism. When I'm done, I'm sure you get to understand me better. She's a teacher by profession. She taught at various levels and moved on to the administrative level. She worked in GES for almost 40 years before retiring from active service in 2022. In the course of her work, she held a lot of positions, and a few are what I'm going to mention. She once became the headmistress of Association International School. She became the regional manager of Presbyterian schools for Greater Accra region. She also became the district director of education for K2 North in the Volta region. She also once became the national director of education and general manager for Presbyterian schools. In other community engagements, she is a member of the Manfi Education Board. She has once served on the number of school boards in the course of her duty. She has served on some committees in the church and held a number of positions as well. She has served as a presbyter of a number of churches in Ghana here, in our Presbyterian church, and then she has also become a member. She's still the member of the Education, Scholarship, and Counseling Committee. Without much ado, let us all, with one accord and with a round of applause, welcome Mrs. Rosamond Amwako Apenteng. Mama, you are welcome.
Erade asumdwe enka ye nyina. I want to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to the District Minister, Reverend Soablo, the local session, and the Education Committee of the church, who found it expedient to invite me to talk to you on the theme. That's the exposition. I thank you very, very much. We have gathered here to celebrate another significant moment on the Presbyterian calendar and the almanac, that is the Education Week. The theme, as we are all aware, is Jesus Christ, the Alpha and Omega, education with Christian values for transformation. I've been told that I would have to mix my language, Atri, and then English. So I'll do that. Education, as we are aware, is the pillar of transformation in the life of a person. An educated person is an asset to the home, family, church, and the entire community. This is an assertion that we all believe in. Interestingly, you can bear with me that it is not all educated people who are an asset to their community. When we talk about education, what at all is it? We have the formal and the non-formal education in acquisition. We all know that the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university, is what we term as education by people. It's structured. It is also an act of teaching, disseminating knowledge to others, and the act of receiving knowledge from someone else. In the course of education, skills are transmitted and character is also formed. So we can put it together that education means the acquisition of knowledge and experience, as well as development of skills, habits, and attitudes, which help a person to lead a full and meaningful life in this world and to develop the wholesome personality. Enuanum a yɛahyia mu wɔ ha. Nea yɛri ka ho asɛm a yɛri da n'adi ama Education Week no ɛyɛ adesua a Kristosom ho ntetewo wɔ mu ema onipa sakra na sɛnea maka dedaw no ɛno na yɛba abɛhwɛ sɛ obi asua ade anaa sɛ wakɔ ntetew mu a yɛwɔ ntetew a yɛfrɛ ne sɛ nea wɔn ahyehyɛ ama yɛn ɛyɛ structured a yɛkɔ school a wɔkyerɛ yɛn ne ade nyinaa no ɛna yɛwɔ bi nso a yɛsua a ɛnyɛ structured sɛnea yɛwɔ fie a yɛn maame no mo rekyerɛ yɛn ade kɔna kɔfɛ yi bra fɛ yi to hɔ yɛ ne sɛ nyɛ ne sa ɛno ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ adesua na yɛ ana yɛka sɛ obi a wakɔ school ɔsombo ma abusua ɔsombo ma ɔman ɛfiri sɛ yɛgye di sɛ obiara a wakɔ school no ɛsɛ sɛ ɔnya nimdeɛ bi na nsakraa bi ba n'abrabɔ mu nso edu baabi a yɛhyia nnipa bi a wɔn akɔ school nanso wɔn suban ɛne wɔn nneyɛe ɛnsɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn akɔ school anaa dibea a wɔkurae ɛfiri sɛ obi wɔ hɔ a wakɔ school adu mpɛmpɛnso bi nso ne kasa mu ne nneyɛe mu wohu sɛ adesua no amfa ne mu yiye ɛkaa kakra ɛno nti ɛnɛ nea yɛba bɛka ho asɛm ne sɛ yɛde nyamesuro tetew yɛn mma a yɛnya nsakrae nyamesuro a ɛwɔ adesua mu no ɛde nsakrae pa ba. When you receive education with Christian values, it transforms you. You do not become who you are, but you become an asset. Mema yahwe yen Presbyterian nyinaso a yebeka say the core values. Yen core values no eye godly leadership, mentoring and discipleship, discipline, sound moral principles, integrity, skills development, hard work, humility, unity, and upholding democratic principles. If you go through our educational system and all these core values are brought to bear, there is no way that you can go through an educational institution, especially a Presbyterian educational institution, that cannot transform you. There are some of you here who attended Presbyterian schools, and it has left an indelible mark in your lives because you were asked to wake up early in the morning, you have to sweep, you have to lay your bed, you have to put things in order. Though you were young, you have grown and you are still doing it because you saw that it brought better lives into your lives. It made you change. You became better than what was in there before you went to school. There are some people who went to the secondary schools, came back transformed, and parents were asking, hey, maybe penny, onu no to me sorry ahenemachi, onu no to me to nempa, onu no sorry a opera. If he said na owo fie no na onyesa. Nso onya ntetewe pano a nyamisuro ka ho no asakran. That is all that this year's education week is about. The values that will be imbibed in you will have to transform you. That is why I said some people have become educated, but we cannot say that they are assets because the school did not have any impact on them, or they did not allow themselves to be molded the way they had to be done. The Bible says in Proverbs 22, verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yentito ye manu, yiye, na wonyinga, worry in fisa antito no ho. Mesre mebisa se, enemri yeritito ye mana, ana ye yen ye ma. Yere tetew won ana yere yen won sa wo yen obi akankasa mu a nea mete ase ne sɛ woma no aduan woma no atare ne ohia biara wode ma no na sɛ woretetew ne de a w'ani ku nea ɔyɛ no ho wodi ne nneɛma a ɔyɛ nyinaa akyi na wode mmara bi to ho ma no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a ɔbɛyɛ onipa mu. You give a holistic training. Wobɛma na yɛ nipa mu. Sɛ woyɛn ne de a ɛno ara ne sɛ ayɛ te sɛ nea sɛbe worema aboa aduan woma no aduan anɔpa awia wakɔma no ɛnodwofa nea ɛsɛ sɛ odi ɔbɛyɛ kɛse na wode ama no enti ɛno ara ne sɛ bere so a na woapia adeko no ama no na sɛ woretetew ne de a w'ani eku ne ho yɛmma a yɛretetew wɔn wɔ Kristo mu no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛma yɛn ani ku wɔn ho ɛnsɛ sɛ yɛyɛn wɔn ɛsɛ sɛ yɛtɔ yɛn bo ase na yɛkyerɛ wɔn Nyame asɛm na yɛhwɛ sɛ nea yɛrekyerɛ wɔn no wɔde reyɛ adwuma anaa. When we take our core value for discipline, how many of our children can we say are disciplined? When you are disciplined, you know how to plan your time. As school children, you can even prepare your own timetable that would guide you and direct you so that you don't waste time. You know how to dress properly. You know how to talk to people. You know when to say what and what not to say at a certain time. Morally, you are trained to behave properly. Sɛ wode nyamesuro ɛne nyame asɛm tete wɔ abofra a wopɛ sɛ ɔda saa suban no adi emra wapue akɔ baabi sesei wokɔ baabi na wohwɛ mmofra sɛnea wɔyɛ a ebi wɔ hɔ a na ɛyɛ ahometew bere sesa abofra tena se ne wahuru agyina konwa so na wahuru afa ha na ɔkoto ha na ne maame yɛ come stop empanyimfu ɛwɔ ha mesre yesu suae no wo maame hwɛ wo baako abie mu bɛyera woreyɛ osejai wamuya na wahwɛ wo kom especially akwakwo aba na ɛhɔ na aba be display yo wo de kɔso na display na akwakwo ne bɛkɔke na wɔkɔ na obehu sɛnea wo line no ɛtefa nso ene wo hwɛ no say why are you looking at me who can say stop what I'm coming na ejina bribi a yɛreyɛ wɔ fie so. We have allowed them to do things their own way because say bribia was the right of the child. Does the right of the child mean that the child should do things anyhow? Because right goes with responsibility. The right of the parent is to provide shelter, to provide food, to provide clothing, to provide the needs of the child. And the child should be responsible for the things that have been provided and take good care of those things that the parent has given out. So if as a parent, you are playing your part, where you were said so wofua, as a so banning so ye bribi mount. Or sorry, ompra. Or sorry, on yashri, who can also abofrani pentama ko school, enti yan country in Chireno. Na tadia pompuna, oh, wa hurobe late into ubakuramano. You are not training your child. You are not training the child. You are not giving the child the Christian training. You are not giving the child what the Presbyterian holds dear. The head, the heart, and the hands. Use your hands to work. Our children sometimes cannot use their hands to work. Say kurabo frabe skua. Onto membra. Obuni mubaku ebi I'm tired. please, I'm tired, and I can't sweep, and madam, not what one teacher for me, boy, I'm country. And so you don't want them to sweep. Because at home, we are not training them the way they have to be trained. But let's bear in mind, if we want to train our children, if we want to stand on the word of God that says that we should train them, and when they grow, they will not depart from it, nothing would happen to them. But they would rather become more responsible. Yet it hey wanga awofuden samuden tetew mu no obi ani mabre obi a tumi ye naade e ma wutumi de kwawa adwuma mu nkrofo ba na wohu afoforo a they can make a difference. When the values are imbibed in you, your transformation speaks. Even without you uttering a word, people can read you. So my little young adults here, if your mothers ask you to work, they are not being too hard on you. Mommy, don't you know I'm tired? I went to school and I'm tired. Unkuya na uko school. Na ni onu soro kwa afumu ansa no wa ba fie ni nso ye. Ahakura de mu nko nsu, wo nko afumu da, wo mpa ija, wo ni mo hwe, eno nso wo I'm tired. Aduan kura abofra bedi, and I'm tired and I can't eat. Aduan so abedi so you are tired. So that one to your mother should feed you. Wash your clothes, you will not wash your clothes. These are the things we are bringing up that if we as leaders have forgotten, let's go back. Because we can acquire all the knowledge, but our characters can tell whether the office should maintain us or we should be sacked. Ubeko office bi ni esese onipa ye wa adwuma mu ho no onye efise ni suban no ani ha wo mu omuade onkasa ye onsiesie ne hu ye onfere ade nyamisuro eninimu enu nti opanyin bi beka kire o say I cannot work with you again. Not that the person hates you, but somebody in leadership cannot do your work. As a secretary, Wama Wajuma say, yeah. Oh, please say, and I was doing this and I was doing that, so I am now going to start. Just give it to me. My boss does not like me. But the other side of you, have you told somebody about it? When we want to imbibe Christian values in our children and in ourselves, sometimes it is about us. An education week, you know, ye kasa emma mofra erisuade. Nanso eka ye ngankasa nso se mpanyimfo. Say yenso ye bisa ye hu se ehifa na ye to sing. Ehifa na nyame asem a yesua no yentumi mfa nya adwuma. So yetumi ye adwumaden na mofra asua ye ngana ye ba sorry a eden na ye daddy na children services fo ahwe opanyin no aka se wo pese wo ye so no na JY fo ahwe no na YPG fo ahwe no na YAF fo ahwe no inti ansa na bedu women fellowship ne men's fellowship no na wagya obibi wo wachi a obi tumi hwe if you say wonnam ntetewe bi mu na wode anyin. When we look at Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6, it says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And this refers to godly leadership. If you are a leader, be it a school prefect, a group leader, wherever you are leading some people, Proverbs 3:5-6 admonishes you that you do not lean on your own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge God and He will direct your path. As part of the Christian values, allow God to direct your path. Ma erade ni wo kan, ma erade nkasa nkyerɛ wo, ma erade ma wo sumi mfa nyɛ biribi. Efisɛ woyɛ ɔpanyin, woredi dɔm bi anim. Ɛnyɛ me ɛyɛ nea erade reka ni. Our core values talks about godly leadership. Enti woyɛ ɔpanyin a obiara pɛ sɛ ohu nyamesu bi wɔ wo mu sɛ okristoni. Ɔkwan bɛn so na woreda wo ho adi sɛ Awurade te wo mu na wode saa tumi no ɛna ɛredi dɔm anim. Enti wobɛkyerɛ ɔdɔ, ɛhummɔbɔ, ɛntease, nidi ama nipa a woredi wɔn anim no. If you have to be a leader, you must show that God dwells within you. And so you should show love to others. There are leaders who are only leaders and nothing more. I am a leader. I am a president. I am a group executive. That is all. But what again will members in the group love you for? Say, oh, young president yi, young secretary yi, obunipa, on the young kase yi, odo yen, owo otima bi ma yen. When you show these things, you draw others closer to God. And others who are outside would want to be like you because you are an embodiment of Christ. The values that you are going out with, even without you talking, it talks for you. People in your community, they see you and they see what you stand for. The core values of the Presbyterian Church, when taught and enforced, will groom a generation of responsible people. If we are to use our core values and ensure that it is taught and practiced, not only being taught, but practiced. Say yerichre na yama wanga dasa subang no edino. Ebua na ebebua nso ya manchirima ayese ne ayepese yehu won. Say yehwe yen school ewa ha yi a na se akyerɛkyerɛfo gyina pintin na wɔre ye ne yiye. Na wanga kyerɛ mofra yi nea ɛho hia sɛ ɔbɛyɛ okristoni ɔpanyimpa nneanimu pa sɛ ɔbɛyɛ nhwɛso pa ama afoforo sɛ odi ne ho ni a disciplined person na ɔda suban pa adi. Then integrity ɛdɛn na ɛsɛ sɛ meka brebɛn na ɛsɛ sɛ meka na ɛhe na ɛsɛ sɛ meka. Ɛnyɛ asɛm biara na yɛyi ano, ɛnyɛ asɛm biara na yɛka, ɛnyɛ baabiara na yɛkasa. Na sɛ yɛkasa nso yɛsɛ sɛ yɛhu sɛ ɛho nsunsuanso no ɛba yɛn so. We should be responsible for whatever we say. And then skills development, which is part of the mantra of the Presbyterian Church. Bra Presbyterian na sorry no ɛyɛ ne ntotoe na ɔde the head, the heart, and the hands. Skills, acquisition of skills. As I say, yɛde yɛn nsa yɛ adwuma. Yɛsua nsa no dwuma bi. Yɛn man ketewa yi, are we training them to use their hands? How do they see others who are doing a vocational program? And you as a parent, you as a member of the church, as a grandmother, a grandfather, what do you think about skills development? wo ba wa momoden no uso nkosua adepam adepamfo no wonti awu se ni ti awu a anka otwa awu sleeve no odisi collar no so nso ono na opam urekogwa mu a seamstress na wo se oni made ni nti wonkosua no ono no siesie wo ho no wakokrom na sa wo ba se opese osua seamstress a wo se oh you don't qualify to learn that. You have to become a medical doctor. Obi kwa akoye mechanical. Na akoye fitani. Enso wo ka aseye a nia ni tie wu no, ono hyehye wo parts ni nyina ama wo. Nti so tutu bia utuka na ebeden na akọ. So when we talk about skills development, we are encouraging others to use their hands. And I would appeal to parents. Ye meya ewo hoi holidays. Muma wonko suyansa anujuma wai. Se seamstress bi wo wonchen ana tailor bi wo ho a. Wo the holidays ma obebi nko. Se any bribia eye emwa because the skills acquisition is lifelong. We wie adwuma wa betena fie ana weekends woni bribi no wo bribi a wo de wonsa ereye ebia wasua bead making ebia wasua cake making wo reye chese bribi a ebe ma wo income adwuma bia ni hwa ye adwuma fi ejina sane a wo beye ne so enti sa wo baby pese osua mechanic adwuma holidays manenko no nkosua obewie na obenya ne mainstream adwuma no na owo a second skills acquisition worker oreye adwuma bia ebrewo sika na ema utumi gina hoye no enye adwuma wototo nase. Some parents are so much engrossed in foreign lifestyles that they would not allow their children to be groomed in the church and school as leaders. We are talking about Christian values, but when we come to the church tells us a lot. But there are some people who will not even allow the church and the word of God to be seen in their children. They will only be coming to church on Sundays, but practicing what has been said and ensuring that the child or you yourself, you are also practicing it, becomes out of the way. When we are educated, when we know what the Christian value is, we should allow it to transform us. As I say, yema e daddy. Say yesua bribi, yatene rade nangase, wanga tete yen we rade fi. Enti say ye puya, ye kom, nanso ye nipadua ne ye ne ye kasama yen. Enu nti, uwo hwa na obi se, ne ba opese oye te se wo. Ubebi se se, oh we denga na, oh we biya, maahwe maami ya, sene one mofra kasa, sene oye na adefa, send your sorry or send your body language alone is speaking for you. You don't even know those who are admiring you. Children are hardly disciplined today. I'm not talking about corporal punishment. I would want to appeal to parents. If we do not want anybody to cane our child, if we do not want anybody to reprimand our child or our children, do it yourself. So won pese obi de ababe kan wo ba. Na won pese obi betie wo ba, wan kasa ye wo ba no ho adwuma. If you say abofra wan kasa watete wo no no waye no ho adwuma no, orinwu wani maseda. Da bia da me can say enemri, we have lost what it means to have a name. If you say kangno, uye bribia wobisa use, wuding the den, ufi nehefa. And the moment you mention your name and your house or your home, and you do that outside, empanyimfo bedi madanse, wobeka say, ufi se fie ha, eyi de yenhu bi wahada. But today, they bear our names and we don't care how they behave. We don't care how they behave, whether our name will go up or down. Nobody cares. But the Bible admonishes us that we should train our children the way they should go. And when they grow, they will never depart from it. When you acquire all the knowledge you need and you are morally weak, you lose respect among people. Se wusuban inye wasua niema akwa anim wode ade to hɔ a na wafa enodwo wo nenam ntokuru mu ne ade nso woyɛ obi a wasua ade wakwa anim nso yɛba moral lifestyle a yɛntumi mmɔ wudin wɔ mu ɛyɛ saa w'anim inye nyam wɔ nipa anim. When you are morally weak, you lose respect among people. There are people who have attained all that they have to attain, but people do not respect them. Rather, people fear them, but they don't respect them. They are two different things. When you are coming and people start running away, they are not running away because they respect you, but they are running away because they fear you. But let them accord you the due respect and give you the space you have to be given. Se otwe ne ho gina nkyɛn se bra betwam a esane se owo nidi bi ma wo nti na wagina ho se bra na betwam. Na se odi America no kɔde a na kyerɛ se wo suro nanso wo mu wo nidi bi ma wo. Se yɛde yɛn nyamesom ɛne ntetewe pa we can create a very enabling environment for ourselves and others. People would respect us and people would want us. Integrity, hard work, humility are priceless. We are Jumadenga. Na wo bra wo ho ase ade nyinaa mu a yɛntumi mfa bonto so. Nia obre ne ho ase no Awurade hyɛ n'anuonyam. Let us teach our children and let us also teach ourselves to be very humble in all our ways. It doesn't matter how high we have attained in life. We should be humble. We must always ensure that when the head acquires knowledge, the heart will have empathy for others, emotionally affect the lives positively, and the hands would learn the skills that would provide for your needs and support others when you need their assistance. Emredodo a yeresua de yema yenti emoa yen yensua na yen koma enya otema ema afoforo na yensa ensua nnwuma a daache yede beboa yen ho ne yetumi de aboa afoforo. Let us as a congregation be mindful about grooming ourselves and others by being morally upright, well-disciplined in our thoughts and actions, and have a high sense of integrity in the way we speak and take critical decisions as leaders. We think we are talking education and it goes to the children. But as leaders, we should also be mindful that the Christian values that are imbibed in us will be shown, so that when we are taking decisions, we will take decisions in the house of the Lord based on our Christian values. But just a minute. The theme is our mantra for the week and for the year. As we go out this year to think about the values that we have to practice, I pray that it will transform each and every one of us. If we are not familiar with the Presbyterian core values, I pray that we would all be familiar. And if the school can write or print out the core values and paste it on the walls so that the children can be reading. And as they read, during worship time, you explain to them. By the time they leave this institution, they would have been fully transformed. And there would be a good embodiment of the church. This is another year. This is another theme. May the good Lord who has brought us this far encourage us and let us be good disciples so that we can transform others through what we have received from Christ's teaching. I wish you well, and I wish you a blessed week for education. Thank you.
Please, a minute for question and answers, please. Please, any questions? Please, any questions for Mama Rosa? Okay. All right.
Thank you. So my question is, parents are trying hard to teach our kids in the house the normal things we do at home. But when they go to school, they don't do those things. Sweeping, they have given it to people to do that parents should pay for. But when we're going to school, we're also wearing white socks, and not even on paved ground like this, in the dust. But we still come out neat in the morning, and you have to go for your number if you don't get it, and all those things. But now, things have changed. So my advice is to teachers here, let's try as much as possible to let our kids do that also at school, because they spend most times at school too, so they can also balance what we ask them to do in their house. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, what she said, I'm sure you all heard it. She says that there are things that their children do at home, but they are not allowed to do it in the school. Now, whose fault? Who is not allowing the children to do it in the school? Teachers. Why are you not? Where are the teachers? Do we have teachers here? Where are the teachers? Why are you not allowing children to work in the schools?
I think I should give it to them so that they...
Mama, I'm not sure teachers will also take the blame here, because now rules have been set. And way back when we were in school, teachers had the right to even discipline students. But now, the rules are many, and from above, we are not supposed to do certain things. So at the secondary level, it's even worse. the child can be so disrespectful and you have no right to query the child or even punish the child. So I am sure that with your high office, you can also have a say, and then it will drop from up and then it will descend onto us, so that we will begin to do what we were taught to do in school. Thank you.
Is that it?
Please, any more?
Is that it? Yes. Daddy. Yes, sir.
It's the question which may not be addressed to you, but it's a concern to me. It took me a long time as a Presbyterian before I got to know that we have core values. It took me a very, very, very long time before I got to know this. And all the talk was based on our core values. And in that case, that's what I don't know whether it's addressed to you, you are the right person to answer. What are we as a church doing to ensure that these core values are well understood by Presbyterians?
Thank you, Papa. Papa, asofo no mo ha. Papa, asofo no mo ha. Mpacho Papa say, "Eden na yen se asafo. Ye betumi aye na asafo ma ate ase se Presbyterian Church wo core values. Enu ni se na wo ye ni na wo nso wotumi de abobra. Papa mpacho enya za. Thank you, sir. Yes, another teacher wants to talk.
Hello. Bacho, you can call values that. Then I will push call Papa Mohono. Because I'm very passionate when it comes to core values. And you know, me near mana work and me print it in picture form at the church schools. I quite remember I have done this for the church. You see her 2 times. As I say, me who baby cry no. And it's you know. I say we are such a long dear. By young cousin, so I say, you two are not for. Thank you.
You. In the education week, na education no. Asafu nyina education, enye school for education. Na mama asem no kind about children being taught what to do at home and not being allowed to do it in the schools. I don't think a teacher would tell a child not to sweep. But this is where a parent will tell you that Sanebane pra James Bekwanisem. I remember when I was a head in one of the schools, parents be excuse me to say, but asofo wanga aye wanga sorry ni bi. Oma ne baba school late. Adentia so ohun wo huhu mu niema bi wo fam ne adenti ne ba ne ba na opik anya obe bi. Enti ne ba ne bebe school no wanga pra no enti obepue mi of exam say krache. Whose child should sweep for your child to come and sit down? Adekuna uhu no obi ba de on fa no ne nsan koka na wo do ba no metena sikom. Parents bi wo ho na ka se ne ba nye even on paper window ho kura. Minim what is coming over some people. Because sometimes people say that, oh, me the man yan is saying to me, pesa me mabebre. Yanti wadao. We are not there forever. The extended family system is no more there, where we were living with our aunts and our cousins. So me auntie waha. It will get to a time if you are not there, your sister would not even want to look after your child because of the training you have given to your child. And famusa woni nyina na tia sorry dem ha. And so on pesa will babeba in chain because of some of these things. Our children are sweeping, but when you go to school, another parent at a PTA meeting will say the children should not be allowed to do this. And all other parents will say, don't let them do it. And tina wouldn't say, but near me the meshka ashemunkurang ne say, impendudu wa mo man wo mo nchen no nia mo betumi no monye na bra wo ye ne nkakra na bofra ni nim nia ne papa ne maame a kire no enti okwa abonten a ongogu wani mase oba school a wo behu se odanso ohhehye ne niema fefefe onye ne hu fi. The training you are given The values you are imbibing in the child takes it along. And it can only be successful when you add prayer to it. And yet, bra wori kasachre no na wori bompa inso ya mane se onna subanpa edi mfa nhye erade anuonyam na ensakra no na ensakra afoforo. That is what we are talking about. The values that we acquire should transform us to make us better people. So if you train your child to sweep, to wash, to do all other things, na obedu school no was a laborers wo school. Intima onya. Abofra ne pong be fie kura onim se oba adwuma ewo honi, she would come and do it. She wouldn't say that because I did not do it in school. And then when you come for PTA meetings, please encourage the schools to let your children do some of these simple things. Because some of the children who do not do it at home, you may find it interesting that when they come to school and they are assigned those jobs, they want to do it. Enti mama yenyina yensre rade se kakra ye betumi ayama ye ma no ye ma ne nso betumi de akọ won anim na wode abọ won bra na asakra won. Because when the child is very disciplined, very hard working, a good leader, the child becomes the topmost student wherever he or she goes. It transforms even into academic work. Enti ni nyina mu no empaibo ka ho awofo ni bi wa ha na se mo mma ho kwan e ma won kasa nkyere won e ma won tie won a mesre efi na ko imu ni teacherfo ni nkomo. Know your child, because the children, they are different at home, they are different in school. Some of them are very naughty in the house, but very good students in the school. And some too are very good students and naughty at the other side. And some too, they are just who they are. Ni nyina no momma yemfa nyamesuro enempaebo entetew won. Na se yegina Awurade asem so ya, yemmeyi bedan wobeye fefefe wobehye Awurade anuonyam na so wope akandifo a. They will find it in the Presbyterian child. They will find them in your homes because they have been transformed because of the training you gave them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mama Rosamond. One thing I picked from Mama's expose is we should train our children to become assets, not liabilities. And I hope we've all had one thing or the other one advice or the other to train up our children. At this juncture, we would take our offertory. We'll be led by Victory Voices. Victory Voices, offertory.
Mon kamfu nyankopon mo anum ne kome mo oye adikesi wo ye ni penyine mo ifriye nanom ye di besi ne deyi Wehu ye mobo pi washe Yesu yiye mon kamfu nyankopon mo anum ne kome mo oye adikese wo ye ni penyine mo efriye nanom ye Di besi ne deyi wehu ye mobo pi washe Yesu onyame hu ye mobo wehu ye mobo pi washe Yesu yi